Well, thank you everybody for coming today on this almost long weekend bank holiday. So thanks for taking the Friday. And I'd also like to thank all the speakers who are here today. We've got Ben Brown from the Vouchers, Helen Whitaker from Cebu, Mario Thomas from Chapter 8, and Mark Andrews from Voucher Cloud, who is coming shortly. So this is the third in a series that we're doing on understanding affiliates' needs, and this topic is on voucher codes. So the reason why we're doing this today is, as I'm sure most of you are aware as retailers, the use of vouchers is very prominent in affiliate marketing and has actually exploded in this sector in the last couple of years. So the expertise of the people speaking today is from their own experiences in this sector. And without further ado, I will introduce the first person. It's Ben Brown from Vouchers.
Thank you very much. So I've got a fantastic audience. Thank you, Webgains, for inviting me here today. So merchants, affiliates, agencies, very privileged to be here today. So I'm going to talk today about voucher codes. It's a relatively new industry that's experienced exponential growth and also its fair share of controversy over the last few years. And as a relatively immature industry, what we don't have at the moment is research being published, and in addition to research, analyst data to actually give you as merchants, agencies, and affiliates an insight into the industry and data and transparency that you possibly will get in other industries such as financial services. So what I wanted to do today is actually provide this insight and give you a little transparency into the industry. So just for those of you that don't know me, my name is Ben Brown. I like innovation, creativity, building new services, and saving money. I love mobile. So I've been lucky enough in the past to work for some fantastic companies. You guys at Webgains have worked at Awin previously. I've managed mobile and innovation for Lloyd's Banking Group. And now I'm lucky enough to run my own company, Vouchers. So we use location, specifically a user's current location, to deliver mobile vouchers directly to a user's mobile device. And our number one customer has been My Voucher Codes. So we've worked very closely with My Voucher Codes over the last year in the same office as them. And now we are actually part of the parent company of My Voucher Codes, which is Market Media. So we've made a lot of learnings, we've gained a lot of insight, and I want to share this with you today. And I'm going to share this in form of 5 myths. In addition to controversy, there's a lot of preconceptions about the voucher code industry. Some of these are true, some of these are not so true. I think what has been the case previously, there just hasn't been the transparency or the data. And it was actually got up from our industry and shared that data with merchants. But my number one preconception, and this is something I hear again and again. So I have a premium brand, voucher campaigns are going to damage my brand. And from our perspective, this is not true. And if I forget myself as a voucher code affiliate and actually talk about what our customers think. So we poll our customers constantly. On the website, there's anything up to 12 million users at peak times. So we've got a big user base to go and get this customer knowledge from. And in terms of retail value proposition, this is what you've got to think about, and this is what our customers want. So they want value in the form of price, but also in the form of brands. So our users want to shop at an aspirational brand. And it's up to you to really understand your goals and manage your voucher campaigns in line with this. So if you constantly run 30% off throughout the year, you are going to damage the brand. But if you want this publicity, there's no reason why you can't offer, just for an example, free delivery without actually devaluing the product. And if you are going to do voucher codes, consistently keep the user guessing, make them feel special. You can run your codes in line across category basis or make them product based. And I'll show you some of the goals of retailers. It's really about understanding your goal, and whether you work with us or a competitor, the same things apply. It's about understanding these goals and making sure you run your voucher initiatives in line with your goals. In terms of both Voucher Chart and My Voucher Codes, this is the value proposition. I think better than any other type of affiliate out there, we'll get that user to interact with your brand. It's not just about stealing the cookie at the last stage. And ultimately, we'll get them to transact. I think we do this better than anyone else out there in the industry today. So these are some of the goals. I think what we experience are so many retailers saying, you're experiencing this, or we're seeing this exponential growth. You have the ability to drive sales better than anyone else out there. We must be on your site, without really thinking why I should be on the site. So here's a bit of transparency and reasons why people do it. So it's not just online vouchers. We have online, we have printable, and we have mobile. So increasing footfall in store is a big driver for this. And this is potentially why a store will go and give one of these potential exclusive discounts, where they'll give us a deep discount of 30% off, 50% in store. So we have brands, just for an example, Gap will give us 30% off everything in store over a weekend to generate footfall at very challenging and busy times to them. Increase average spend, so I'll go into this later as well. Improve loyalty. So a lot of people think that the Voucher Code customers are of poor quality. This isn't the case. I'll give you a little more insight into this later in the presentation. You may have a new product you wish to promote. Again, nothing better is out there, but gaining a user's exposure and interest better than a voucher code. Real-time promotion or new customer acquisition. And number one, be found, whether it's being found on the internet or being found on the high street. Voucher codes work better than check-ins, better than content sites. So you can see this, if you have a look across the various networks, you can see what affiliates are the super affiliates and which ones are driving content. And at the moment, it is the voucher code sites that are doing this. And you'll find in terms of SEO, especially with my voucher codes, it's a core competency of this. If you have a product, in so many cases, you'll find that my voucher code ranks for that product. So take advantage of this as a retailer and make sure that you end up winning a sale. So again, we talked about this concept of voucher campaigns delivering a poor quality to the customer. So this preconception, again, that you're a startup, your users are students, they're not. Our users tend to be female and they tend to be relatively high net worth. So the average family income of our users is actually £80,000. And this isn't just the case with my voucher codes. So I've tried to give, I think, information that is relevant whether you use my voucher codes or whether you use a competitor. You'll find the majority of, I hate to mention the names of our competitors, but you'll find the majority of voucher code sites do have high net worth individuals using them. And it will increase the average basket value as well. We find if you offer £5 off a product or off a basket, our user will tend to spend £10 or £20. So we recently run a promotion for a high street retailer. Within the last month, we increased their basket value over one weekend, 60% increase in size of the average basket value. So it's not your, and especially in the restaurant space as well, we find we do a lot of printable vouchers. Our users are not the type of user that go in and buy one main course and drink tap water. If we give them a £5 discount, they end up going and buying an extra course, a more expensive wine option, and spend way more than they ever would if they came in and just purchased without a voucher. And the other thing is word of mouth. As a retailer, have a look at how many Facebook fans you have. Have a look at how many people are on your mailing list. With my voucher codes, there's 100,000 Facebook fans, 1.7 million email subscribers, 7,000 Twitter followers. And these are very loyal to us, but as a retailer, you can take advantage of these as well. So if you have a product, it will be included on Facebook, it will be included on the email, and these users share these with their friends. Okay, number 3. The use of vouchers erodes your margin as a retailer. We get a lot of retailers contact us and say, you know what, I'm not doing vouchers. Our users have already made a purchase decision. They know where they're going to purchase. They know what the product they're going to purchase. And again, rather than just saying, hey, like this is what we believe, here's some data from Hitwise. So what we have here is Dixon's. So we can have a look at downstream websites visited after Dixon's. So you can see potentially at this stage, the customer is still doing a bit of research into the product that they're interested in. So after visiting Dixon's, they visit the number one, like the no-brainer competitors. Further downstream, they visit my voucher codes. But after my voucher codes, they're visiting price comparison sites. They continue to visit competitor sites. This can be after they've made a product decision, they're still making the decision of where to purchase that product. So potentially, they visit your site, they choose a product, they come to our site, and then they go to a price comparison site and see it cheaper elsewhere. But through the use of a voucher, you can win that back, that customer, and stop them going to purchase our competitor. And there's a testimonial there from one of our largest customers. one of the biggest things for us, you can wait to go mobile. So this is mobile, we do mobile offline, and we do mobile offline, and we also do mobile online at the moment. You cannot wait to go mobile. So do a bit of audience interaction here. Can I just ask, who here's got an iPhone? You raise your hands, keep your hands raised as well. Who here's got an Android phone? Everyone keep your hand raised, just a bit of exercise, I know it's early in the morning. And who's unlucky enough to have one of these? Okay, so we've got most of the audience, literally 80–90% of the audience. And again, keep your hands raised, I promise this will be over very soon. Use your device to search for a business, or a person, or anything online using its location-based functionality. Again, the majority of you. And who's made a purchase, be it a product, an app, or a song? Again, I think it's safe to say we've probably got 70–80% of the audience. And now my final question, out of everyone that has your hands raised, who here has a business that's optimized for both mobile and for location-based services? About 5% of the audience. So this is not uncommon. We see again and again when we speak to retailers, they're not able to keep up with the demand of users. So it's something that you can't wait to do. And I'm not sure if any of you have seen products like this. So this is Red Laser. So with this application, a user can walk into one of your stores, they can scan a product, and they can find out where they can buy it cheaper on the internet. And what's interesting about this is not behavior of 18 to 24-year-old males. This is behavior, this is literally a top 10 app in the App Store. It's had tens of millions of downloads worldwide. We're getting young females using this. We're getting middle-aged males using this. It's not just a very small proportion of the market. It's not something that you can choose to ignore. In terms of the way our applications work as well, I'm just going to give you a very brief overview. So our vouchers are presented in order of proximity to a user's current location. So what we found when we first wanted to go mobile a year and a half ago, no merchants had mobile optimized sites. And as a result of that, when we referred customers, we didn't get very high conversion rates. So we decided actually for our first foray into mobile, let's make it relevant to the user, and let's make it instant based on location. We don't have to rely on a merchant's ability to optimize the website and mobile. So they can view this, they can then interact with a brand, they can find out a little more about the retailer, a little more about the offer. And if they're within walking distance, they can download a voucher and redeem that instantly in store, and we'll track the sale. And these are brands already that are going into mobile and working with us on offline retail. So don't think it's something that maybe is coming next year. You've got to think to yourself as, both affiliates, as merchants, and as marketeers. When it comes to mobile, is your business leading or is it lagging? And also, if you have access to marketing data, you have tools like Omniture or Google Analytics, have a look at the data. I'm sure you're going to see every single month more and more users access your mobile site via a mobile device. Okay, and this is something else. Number 5, voucher affiliates are unprofessional. So I'm not sure if any of you had a bad experience from a voucher code site. There's a little of controversy in the past. There's something you've really got to consider here, and this is for the sake of transparency. These sites have experienced exponential growth. So within literally a matter of years, they've grown from one person in a bedroom to literally tens of millions of dollar companies, employing, in some cases, in excess of 100 people. And with this in the past, there's been some bad decisions made, wrong hires, and what I find when I've been speaking to merchants over the last year, there's this view that voucher code sites are generating so much traffic and driving so much revenue that there's an arrogance. They're not providing the service that you need as merchants, and in addition, they're not providing the statistics and transparency you need. And from my perspective, I understand how it's easy to see this initially, but when you actually come into the business and become part of it, you realize actually it's a skills gap. It's nothing to do with arrogance. And what we're finding, this is something that's changing rapidly as well. So voucher code sites are now starting to take on a higher quality of staff and really to understand how the retailer wants to work in terms of managing your promotions effectively, protecting your brand, and providing you the statistics and giving you the ability to measure your return on investment.